Welcome. Good morning. We're here. I'm Donovin Darius. We're here for another live episode of Next Level Motivation, Principles for Living Life to the Fullness. This is a book reading that I'm going to go through, also with a session where I give some insight, some tips, give some encouragement as you walk out your life today. So again, welcome, get ready. We're about to have a great time today with about 20 minutes or so of inspiration as I read through this. Things that you can take away for your life, for your day today, to help you take your life to the fullness. So again, thank you guys for joining me on this journey. If this is your first time, I want to welcome you. Today is episode number 14. So we've had 14 episodes so far. Every single video that I've created already is uploaded on YouTube. So again, if you missed any, you can go a couple places. Number one, you can go to my Facebook page, look at the videos. All right, or you can go to the YouTube page and you'll be able to see each one I did. Also, don't forget subscribe to the YouTube page because on there has a lot of other content that may be helpful to you as well. Again, I don't believe in just saying things because I truly believe that I cannot motivate you, but what I can do is I can inspire you. And inspiration is basically me igniting the spirit on the inside of you to motivate yourself, to get you self-motivated, to get you to basically count up the cost, to get you to sacrifice, which basically sacrifice is I'm choosing something of a higher value. So again, I want to welcome you guys today. Again, we're going to get right into it. If you were not here yesterday we started chapter 3, and the title of chapter 3 was "You Are Designed for Success." You are designed for success. And in that chapter, we're talking a little bit about you are God's greatest creation. It doesn't matter what animal, it doesn't matter what structure, it doesn't matter what thing is made, what thing is created in this whole entire world. It doesn't matter how amazing, the Grand Canyon, the Niagara Falls, you name it, the cosmos, any and everything that there is. Although those things are so amazing, although those things are so wonderful that we probably can't understand, do you realize that beyond all of that, you are the greatest creation that's ever been made? You are the most complex. You are the one that has the most ability. You have the mind. You have a mind that people are only trying to understand and discover the capacity. You have that. You have an ability within you that where when you utilize yourself to the maximum of your potential, that there's nothing that can't stop you. There's nothing that you can't do. Now, I know when I say this, it sounds cliche. There's nothing impossible. There's nothing you can't do. But these are actually facts. These are actually true. This is scientifically proven that if you're able to maximize the potential of who you are about your natural senses, as well as your intellectual faculties as well, when you're able to harness that power, you're able to focus that energy and you're able to utilize it, understand it, be more aware of it, and then actually manifest the ability of it, there's nothing that can stop you. And so during these sessions, especially this chapter right here, this chapter is going to be uniquely for you because sometimes you have to be reminded of who you are. You have to be reminded of the abilities that you have. You're going to be reminded that, and you're going to be awakened to the fact that, wait a minute, I'm only manifesting about 15% of my ability. You know, they say the average person only uses about 13% of their brain. 13%. Now, for some people, they feel like, hey, man, I'm using 13%. But what if you use 15? What if you're able to actualize 20, 25, 30? What if you were able to actualize and put into manifest and utilize the ability and the power of all the different abilities you have in your body? So yesterday we talked quickly. We talked about the different natural senses you have. We know them because we live our life that way. A lot of times, we unfortunately live our life based off of just those senses. What? Sight. We go by just what we see. That's possible for me because of what I see. That's not possible because of what I don't see. We go by hearing. Oh, you know what? I heard this, I heard that. And so based off of my limited hearing, we'll a lot of times in our lives determine what we can do, what we can't do. Smell, we go by what we smell. Touch, can I touch it? We go by the feeling of different things, So we got sight, we got touch, we got taste, we got smell, we got sound. So you have all these things right here, but guess what? There's more than that. There's more than, as they say, more than meets the eye. There's more inside of you, and that's what we cover in this chapter. In this chapter, we talk about the 6 intellectual faculties that you have, that you have been designed with from the inside out. Now, here's what I realized. When I wrote this chapter, when I wrote this book and I wrote this chapter, I realized that this stuff was not being taught to me in school. I didn't know this. Nobody taught me this. They taught me to utilize those other faculties, right? And they taught me how to utilize a couple of these things. And they often blamed me when I did not utilize these things right. And what are those 6? You have your will. You have your intuition. You have your perception. You have your reasoning skills. You have your imagination. You see, you have all those things, and you have your perception, and you have all these things that allow you to operate. And so we get into that in this chapter right here, and we're going to kind of get right back into reading. Remember, don't forget, you can pick up your copy. It's only $10.95 while I'm doing this book reading on Amazon. So just search Amazon. You'll pick you up a copy. At the end of each chapter, it has some discovery questions for yourself to make the chapter go a little deeper, for yourself. All right. So here we go. We have to train our minds to stay in the present and notice what we're thinking about. Most people create their thoughts and live through their 5 senses. We see, hear, taste, smell, and touch, and are conditioned to create thoughts about our outside world only through these senses. We tend to let outside information and others affect how we think and feel about almost every situation. As human beings with the God-given ability to create our environment and change our circumstances, we must begin living from the inside out. We are God's greatest creations, with the ability to develop our minds and use our thoughts correctly in the way that brings us our desires. By doing this, we have to use our intellect. Our intellectual faculty is a set of attributes that our mind or our spirit uses to create our physical world. Napoleon Hill once said, an educated, successful person is not someone who's acquired generalized or specialized knowledge. An educated and successful person is someone who has developed their intellectual faculties to such a degree that they can create whatever they desire or its equivalent without violating the rights of others. The problem is that most of us have never been taught or conditioned to use our intellectual faculties. They are actually 6 intellectual faculties that together, when operated properly, they can become a powerful force with the ability to create anything in our human life. Your 6 intellectual faculties are as follows: your will, your imagination, your memory, perception, the intuition you have, and your reasoning skills. Each one holds the key to being able to consistently and purposefully create the life and environment that you desire. Every creation has the natural ability to fit into its environment. But we, as God's greatest creations, human beings, we aren't meant to simply fit in. We weren't meant to blend into the picture and to fade into the background. Instead, we were made to stand out. We were made to create the environment we desire to live in and to live the life that we seek to live out. There are millions of people who are not experiencing the life that they want because they don't realize how wonderfully and uniquely they're made. They're not utilizing the tools that they were built with. If you want to have the life that you desire, you have to realize that you're not an animal and that by chance just simply evolved. But instead, you're specifically designed and created to operate and function using all your faculties, which are your sight, your sound, touch, taste, smell, imagination, your will, your reasoning, your intellect, your perception, and your reasoning skills. You see, as I said, when I wrote this chapter, I realized I had to take personal inventory, and I had to be true with myself. And I had to say, beyond how smart I think I am, beyond what I've accomplished in my life, and like I said, when I wrote that, it was last year. I said, man, I'm 40-something years old. I'm 42 now, actually 43. I said, I was 42 years old, and I said, I never learned this. I never knew this to the degree in which I was able to manifest it. Sure, I might have heard about it, but I never utilized it. I never learned it so it could become mine. Now, see, other people, they were living it out, and they might have been benefiting from it, and they may have been maximizing and basically, benefiting from the understanding of it, but not me. I was in certain areas, but I said, you know what? The day of me only learning a little bit about this is over. Because what I found myself doing and what I heard from a lot of other people is I found myself, when you don't know something, you tend to blame others. Okay, when you don't know something, you tend to blame others. Remember this, the biggest enemy in life is not the person, it's not the enemy, it's not the devil, it's not Satan. They ain't the biggest enemy in life. The biggest enemy in life is ignorance. It is the state of not knowing. It is when you don't know something, you can't maximize it. And so the greatest accomplishment in life, the greatest drive in life, one of the greatest things in life is to increase our level of awareness. You see, it's when we increase our level of awareness, then we become aware of something, and then we can actually manifest it. For example, and I use this example, ever since the beginning of mankind, it was always possible, the knowledge was always there for man to go from Earth to Mars. It was always there, always there. The knowledge, the information was always there. But guess what? Man was not aware of it. He was not aware of the laws that govern it, was not aware of how to do it yet. But it wasn't until they kept moving, kept thinking, kept researching, kept searching, just like you. It's not until you keep going, keep pushing, keep calling, keep learning, keep watching, keep reading. It's not until you do those things that you become more aware. And therefore, now when you become more aware, you can manifest more of the ability. And so my challenge to you as we're getting into this, and I'm about to get into those individual areas, is to make up your mind today. Make a decision today that I'm not going to live in a limited knowledge and awareness anymore. I'm going to find out, if nothing else about everything out there, I'm going to find out more about me, about you. I'm going to learn more about me so I can operate in the greater level of functionality. Because the last thing in the world to do is to be able to get to a point where, it's kind of like the Wizard of Oz. It's like the Wiz, right? And I like the Wiz, you know what I'm saying? Certain people like the Wizard of Oz. I like the Wiz. And when Dorothy got to the end and she got in front of she got in front of Lena Horne, which was a good witch, of the East. And the good witch of the East was basically, kind of helping her document and narrate her whole story. And Dorothy thinking, man, I had to jump through hoops. Man, I had to go through here. I had to pick up the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, the Lion. The Wicked Witch of the West tried to get me with these gorillas on bikes. And there was all this stuff that was going on. And she was like, man, all I did wanted to get home. And then at the end, what was her name? Anybody know what her name was? The good witch of the East, Lena something. But anyway, she said, you know what? You had the power all along. You had the power all along to get home. You had it on the inside of you. She actually was wearing the shoes that it took to get her where she wanted to go. And all she had to do was click her heels 3 times and she was home. I say to you, it's just like Dorothy. You have everything you need on the inside of you to become what you want on the outside of you. But sometimes through ignorance, you don't even know it yet. And that's what the power of this session is. All right. So let's kind of get into it. Okay. If this is making sense to you so far, okay, if you're enjoying this so far, do me a favor, click a 1, let me know, just kind of chime in this morning. Don't forget to share these messages as well. Help another person come along here, along this journey. Okay. Understanding the power of our 6 intellectual faculties. We're going to start with the will. The will is the faculty allowing us to focus our attention on one thing, to the exclusion of all else. The will is like a magnifying glass. It channels our attention and energy towards a particular goal or outcome. By doing so, we choose to focus on what we are creating and ignore all other disturbances throughout our environment. Emerson said, "The only thing that can grow is that to which you give energy to." Properly using your will ensures that you are solely giving energy to the things that help you grow and achieve your goals. This activating your will also safeguards against the things which are easy but yields few results. You see, inside of you, that will that you have, when you say, I will do something, that will is tied up into not just with the words that came out of your mouth, I will do something, but it's tied to your level and intensity of focus. How focused are you on the object that you're going to? How focused are you on the end result? How clearly do you see that in your mind? How clearly are you holding that into your mind? Therefore, then putting the necessary action, okay, removing distractions and staying focused on what it is you need. For today, what are you willing to do today? I will accomplish what today? And then based off of that, What are you willing to do to accomplish it? What are you willing to do? You may be at work today and you have a certain quota, or you want to do something, you want to accomplish something. Are you willing to put down something different? Are you willing to put away the distractions? Are you willing to put away, checking emails at a certain time, or checking Facebook, or having side conversations? Are you willing to stay on the grind, to do what's needed, as necessary, to keep going until it comes to completion? It's totally up to you. I can't do it for you. Nobody can do it for you. Only you can will yourself to do it. Nobody can stop you. Nobody can measure your will. But sometimes, just like a muscle, right? That will got to be strengthened. And it can be strengthened by you making one decision at a time. One decision at a time. It's just like going up steps, right? You start going up steps, right? You go up a large flight of steps. Sure, is it work? Yes. Sure, is focusing my attention on things and take work sometimes? Yes, especially in the world we live in with all this distraction that's going after your attention. Yes, it takes work. Okay, but as you get up those steps, and after you start getting tired because you're working a muscle, or you're working, something about you that you haven't worked in a while, your focus, your attention, and your ability to focus, then you start getting tired. But then when you look back and you see how far you come, you realize, man, it was worth it. It was worth it all. And so understanding today, let today be a day where you enact and you develop your will. You develop, where do I want to go? And what am I willing to do to get there? Here's an exercise that helped me sometimes. Sometimes I like to write. I like to write things down. I like to put things out. I like to see it on paper. So that way I'm not just going back and forth in my mind. I'm not just, canceling out what I said I'm going to do, and then I'm going to do it today, but then I'm not going to do it tomorrow. So let me put it down so I can have something to point of reference. So sometimes I have to write down, what am I willing to do? What is my goal? And I write it down. And then I write down, okay, what are the steps that it takes for me to accomplish that, right? But then I go a step further. Most people stop there. Most people stop down by putting down the goal, and they put down, and then they may go as far as writing down the steps. But then the next step is one of the most important steps that you can ever do, and most people don't do. And that is, I now write a list of what are the things that I feel that can stop me from accomplishing that goal. What are the things now that I feel that can distract me from getting to the end? What are the things that I need to be aware of? That I know myself. I know myself. I know how I operate. I can push the play button and rewind the tape on my life and know how I self-sabotage myself sometimes. Or I get into negative. Or all of a sudden I allow other people to control my emotions. Or I allow other people to get me into a place where I'm not productive anymore. What are those? Create your list. Because here's the power of that list. That list allows you, as long as you have acknowledged what the enemy is, you acknowledge what the opposition is, you acknowledge what the strength of the opposition is, now you can strategize against it. You see, as a 10-year NFL player, I never went out on the field without studying my opponent. I never went out on the field without understanding what is their strengths, what are their weaknesses, what are their tendencies, when do they like to do this play, when do they like to do that play, when do they like to say this, how will they attack me? I would always do that. How would they attack me? What do they see in me that they're going to think, hey, we got an opportunity here? You see, if I didn't know their strengths, their weaknesses, if I didn't know my strengths and my areas of improvement and weaknesses, if I didn't know those areas, then I couldn't put myself in the right position. Therefore, I couldn't walk into that game with confidence. And so I say the same thing for you. But as you know, as you study, and as you analyze on that list, what are the things that are going to hold you back? What are the things that can set you back? Now you can strategize against it. Now you can put together a plan on what you're going to do. Maybe as you may get tempted, Maybe you may feel like alcohol is an issue for you. And when things happen, you get frustrated. When you get frustrated, man, you turn to the escape bottle. Or when things get frustrated, you turn to the skate box, the TV, or something. You become very unproductive. Okay, or you start going to the cigarettes, you think, okay, it's just gonna calm me down, I need to calm my nerves. Maybe that's something for you, but you realize at the end of the day, the end of where you're at, the end of where you're headed, the end of that journey is not something that you're really proud of or you're really happy with. Well, maybe if you know that's something for you, now you can provide a strategy. Now you can develop, you can research, what can I do differently that's gonna give me an ultimate better result? You see, I can't do that for you. Nobody else can do it for you. Only you can do it. And that's why we're doing this. Because I want you to take 100% responsibility for everything that happened in your life. Everything. Nobody. We don't blame nobody. It don't matter what somebody did. It's about how we respond to it. And it's when you take that mentality, it's when you take that idea, it's when you have that focus, it's when you have that lens, when you have that purpose, when you walk with that mindset and with that will, that I will change my situation. I will not succumb to this. I will do this. I will do that. It's when you do that in your life, that's when you're going to start to see yourself get to the places that you've always desired. You see, there is no change without the challenge. There is none at all. And so understanding this, understanding you create that end goal, understand you write down what are the steps it takes, but also understand you got to write down what are the opposition. So I say to you, as you put yourself out there today, let's just go one day at a time. Let's look at today. What are you willing to do today? What do you want to accomplish today? What do you want to accomplish today? And what are you willing to do today? What are you willing to do today to get there? And then what are you willing not to do? What is that list that you got to avoid? Because that's going to be ultimately important for you as you walk this thing out. You see, time slips away from us fast, okay? And I'm not going to I'm telling you, I get excited when I share this. I get excited when I get a chance to connect with you because I understand what it's like. I always say people see your glory, but they don't understand your story. They don't understand what it took for you to get where you're at now. You see, as a 10-year NFL player, okay, most people see that, but here's what they see. They see money. They see the money, they see the fame, they see the glory, they see that, but they don't understand what it took for me to get there. They don't understand the amount of times that I had to go without. They don't understand the amount of times that other people was having fun, but I decided and I chose to made a decision to sacrifice and do something different. They don't remember those times when I was back on the field all by myself, when the lights is out, you know what I'm saying, 6 in the morning, and after practice, hitting the tackling dummy all by itself so I can work on my skill. They didn't know when I was out there running bridges. They didn't know when I was basically in the ocean swimming, working on my condition. They didn't know when I was spending hours upon hours in the study room, watching film, watching tape, when everybody went home, when everybody was doing it. They didn't know when I was doing those things. They didn't know the time, what it took, when there are times when I doubted myself. I wasn't sure if I can actually make this, or if I was going to, if I was going to win or not going to win, if I was going to get hurt or not get hurt, or when I did get hurt and I did have surgery, if I was going to ever come back. They didn't know the journey that I traveled on the inside out. They didn't know that. But even in them not knowing it, what they saw is just the glory. But what I'm sharing with you now is a story. And everybody has a story. And I want you to embrace your story as fuel. Embrace your story as the fuel that pushes you forward. To say, if I did that, I know I can do this. If I overcame that, I know I can overcome this. Because you haven't even scratched the surface yet of what you're here to do in this life. You haven't scratched the surface. And I'm not talking about scratching the surface in just what you earn, but also in what you learn and what you give out and the impact you make. A person may say, wait a minute, when you think of impact, you think of global impact. But how about right there at your job? How about you being the game changer at your job? How about you being the instrument of change? How about you being the one that goes on the inside and changes that negative environment to this positive environment? How about you being the one that is able, no matter where you go, no matter who you touch, you know what I'm saying, you're able to brighten their day. You're able to impact them. You're able to help them get off of the ledge of life, of their family, of the situation. How about you be that one? How about you be the one that walks around with the solutions, not just the problem? How about the one that, man, when people come around you, they're like, man, it's not that they just positive, but it's something about them. They're walking a strong ability and level of compassion and empathy. And I'm just drawn to them. You see, you doing that is making a tremendous impact. Because a lot of people out here trying to chase the money, which money don't make you happy. It does answer a lot of stuff, but it doesn't make you happy. You're choosing the greater thing, which is saying, I'm choosing to make an impact on people. Because here's one thing I learned about money. That money chases after value. And so guess what? If you run after value, if you develop and giving value, adding value, money's going to chase you. It's going to chase you. I'm a living witness of it. And that's why I do what I do. Because I'm going to give a tremendous amount of value, and all the other things will be added unto me. And so I ask you today, in what areas are you willing yourself to make the greatest amount of impact? In what areas are you willing yourself to make the biggest amount of impact in your life, in your fitness, in your physical fitness today, in your health and wellness? See, everybody likes to see the pictures of when it looks like the after effect, but are you willing to do the work? It takes one day at a time, one decision at a time, one rep at a time, one walk at a time, one drink at a time, one food at a time, one meal at a time. Are you willing to make the commitment to do it? Just one at a time. I know what it's like to have this lofty goal. Matter of fact, if you get a chance, check out on my YouTube page, I talk about how to change your life 3 days at a time. Just 3 days at a time. How to totally change your life 3 days at a time. Check out one of my videos there, and I actually talk about that. And I talk about something that I do that helps me. Because sometimes you look at this lofty goal, you're like, whoa, man, I can't do this for the rest of my life. Nope, let's go 3 days at a time. You can do anything for 3 days. You can do anything for 3 days. Everybody party on the weekend, hey. Or if you do party on the weekend 3 days at a time, you're looking for those 3 days. How about 3 days where you totally change your life? I talk about that in another video. And so listen, man, I hope that you encouraged. I hope that this was a message today that sparked this fire, that sparked the thought, that has you not looking outside, but looking inside, strategizing, developing a plan, and then executing a game plan and getting the results you want. So listen, man, I appreciate you guys for coming on today. Again, as I mentioned, you can continue to have these conversations by checking out my YouTube page, because I have a lot of video and content up there, things from personal development, some professional development, mindset motivation, spiritual motivation, you name it. And I'm going to be creating a whole lot more. And again, definitely chime in. If there's an area that you want me to share about, if there's something that you have going on in your life and you want to send a DM, a private message, or email, whatever, contact at donovindarius.com. And then again, I'll keep it confidential, and then we'll create a video. We'll do something about it. For me, one of the greatest things in life is being a coach. And coach has everything to do with relationship. But coaching has everything to do with the fact that you're in the game, not me. And so you got to do the steps, not me. You're the one that got to execute the plan, not me. I'm the one that's supporting. I'm the one walking alongside. Okay? And so listen, man, I appreciate you guys. Remember, don't forget, while we're doing this book reading, this book right here is on sale while we're doing this book reading, okay? $10.95, Next Level Motivation, Principles for Living Life to the Fullness on Amazon, okay? The foreword was written by John Gordon, bestseller John Gordon, and the endorsement was written by the legendary Mr. Les Brown as well. Both of them are good friends of mine, mentors of mine as well. So again, I want to thank you guys. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for all that stuff. May you have a great day today. May you will yourself to do what you've always designed to do. May you make the sacrifices that you need to make today, one decision at a time. And then again, I'll see you guys again later today, and I'll probably see you later and tomorrow for episode number 14. Yeah, is that 14 now? We're 14 today, right? Episode 15. The numbers are running on me. All right, listen, you guys have a great day today. Don't forget, last thing I'll say, I want to give a shout out to Miss Iris, who gave me a link to something where I can utilize now, where I'll be able to broadcast live on a lot of my Facebook pages all at the same time instead of having to share it. So thank you for that. If you guys have different little things, tips or whatever that you feel can help, hey, shoot it out, man. I really appreciate the support and any help you guys can give. So definitely from there. All right. So listen, you guys have a great day today. I look forward to talking to you guys later, man. Shout out to everybody today. Let's go ahead and give some shouts out today. All right. So we're ending this if you have to go, but I'm going to give out some shout outs. Let me see some people we got on Instagram here. Greg's the best. Shout out, man. Have an awesome day. Kevin Costello, Daddy Peasy, David Andre, Ricky Bunch. Have an awesome day. Miss Fresh Day. I'm coming to y'all in a second here, so get ready. All right. What is that? Rude Boy 45, Miss Fresh to Death, David Andre. Have a great day. Miss Crystal Acquaintance, have an awesome day today. MLX Pro, have an awesome day. There's your shout out today. Arita Fitness, was that Sire 1480. Have an awesome day today. Thank you guys so much. Let me see what we got here on this Facebook channel here. Who do we have here? I want to thank you guys again. All right, we had a lot of people on here, and then we had some people kind of click on Miss Tracy Hatcher, Miss Patricia, Alan Thomas, having us say, Christy Ramos, you made it. Hey, you made it, Christy, you made it. I mean, I think that alarm clock worked over there in New Mexico, right? You get it up in time. Bucky, good morning, have a great day. Christina Taylor, was it Nicole Simos, Shawnee Jones, Chris Call, Linda Pierce, Miss Deanna Newsom, Coral Smith, James Brown, Michelle Rice, have an awesome day today. Edward Jones, Randy Brown, Janet Dozier, Miss Terry Pelote. Hey, Miss Terry. Hey, Godmama Terry. Linda Armstrong, Derek Parsons. Have an awesome day. Michael Chambliss as well. Big Nate, what's up, Chief? Stacy Mitchell, have an awesome day today. Kathy, Miss Rogers, Eric Taylor, Stacy Mitchell, I already mentioned your name, so you got your name twice. So today, that means you really got to get something done today. Gloria Filio, who else we got? Miss Rachel Miller. All right, listen, you guys have a great day today, wherever you're watching. I want to thank you guys again. Have an awesome day, okay? Patricia said yes, you used to listen to Les Brown on the radio, Columbus, Ohio, growing up here. He's a good man. Awesome. Y'all have a great day today, man. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace out.